This video will probably be a little bit longer than the normal ones go, but just fair warning, you may want to come back to this later, or not at all. I kind of want to talk about, just personally, kind of some things going on with me, and kind of why I've been doing what I've been doing with my social media recently. I'll try and keep it brief, because I know you guys have places to be, things to do. I feel I've done a fairly good job. If you have known me for a while now, and if you've seen the content I put out, whether it's on maybe not so much Instagram, but like Facebook in the past, or some of the videos I've done, I've done a lot with mental health related things. A lot of it really kicked off when I got involved in the resilience program through the Army after I came back from Iraq. I mean, it started before then, but that's really kind of when I got serious about a lot of this stuff, at least producing content for it, right? Making videos and stuff. And it's ebbed and flowed. And I guess the reality is, when I'm in a good place, I'm posting a lot. When I am not in a good place, I don't post hardly at all. If it's something where I'm making a lot of content and videos and random things, it's because I feel like I have something to contribute to the world. I feel like what I have to say matters. And if I'm not, there were stretches where I just won't make one of my resilience videos, or at least there was and stuff, until I finally quit. I wouldn't make one for ages because I was depressed, and I was just like, I have nothing good to say. I mean, I could read inspirational quotes and stuff and try and talk about it, but I just wasn't feeling it, I wasn't there. So this time around, with where I am in my life, specifically retiring from the military has been a big thing. Going through a lot of the things I've been going through with some of my back issues, just back and body in general, right? Getting older, among other things. It's been difficult for me to kind of know what to do to fill a lot of these voids that I'm starting to have in my life. And even as a parent, you really want to help your kids in a lot of ways. And, if you're a parent, especially a parent of teenagers, that you can try your best, but at that point in your kid's life, you can't micromanage them, and you can set everything up for them to succeed, but they have to make the choices as to whether or not they're going to do whatever it is. If they're going to be successful, it's on them. You do your best, right? But that's hard. It's hard because you care about these kids, but that can feel very frustrating, and all these other feelings that you get along with that, being a parent. Which, again, if you are a parent, you understand this. Heck, if you're a kid, you get this. I mean, I remember being a teenager still, and just feeling like my parents didn't understand, and I didn't understand what was going on, and my life was so hard because I'm going through so many new things. And what I didn't realize is that just seems to keep happening in your life. The older you get, the more you experience, the more you're like, what is going on? I don't know how to handle this. I've never dealt with this before. You've never been a teenager before you become a teenager. You've never had kids before you have kids, and on and on and on, right? So life is just one series of what the crap am I doing after another, and you're just doing the best you can to figure it out. So anyways, a lot of the things I'm doing now and putting out is to feel like maybe I'm helping someone out by going through what I'm going through. And again, if you've watched these before, the whole idea of anchors, of having anchors in your life, and these things that keep you steady, keep you solid. And everything from, again, for me, being in the military was a big anchor for me. Teaching resilience for the Army was a big anchor. Being in the unit that I was in, being in the 19th SF, being a paratrooper, these were all anchors that things that I attached my personality or my identity to, and would help me stay grounded. And as those things go away, it's I'm getting into skateboarding. Okay, cool. Now skateboarding has become a type of anchor to me. My kids are an anchor, my family, my wife, my faith, all of these things. But, more is more, right? I love the analogy with the rubber band ball of if you squish a rubber band ball, or you hit it in those hydraulic press machines, it will bounce back multiple times because there's so many rubber bands keeping it together, rather than one big pool ball or a bowling ball that'll just blow up after one intense experience. These rubber band balls keep coming back no matter how many of the rubber bands get severed. Well, not eventually, everything has its failing point, right? But anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. The point is, I'm trying to do all these anchors in my life to try and help myself, but also try and help you, if this is doing anything for you. And I hope it is. And people come back to me and tell me, like, oh yeah, I watched your videos and they really helped. I'm like, man, you should have left a comment or told me you liked them, because I felt like it wasn't making a difference. But anyways, that's besides the point again. But one thing I don't talk about a lot with the anchor thing is the real origins of it comes back to a rock climbing experience I had in like a young men's camp that I ran a number of years ago or helped out with. And the point was that this kid noticed that the reason we were able to rappel down this cliff face was because there were cracks in the cliff. And those cracks allowed the climbers, the people who were running this, to put those climbing anchors into the cracks. And therefore, we could hang off of those things. And we had, little check marks and all these little anchor points along the way. So in other words, it provided for a stable climbing experience for the people that came after. And if those cracks didn't exist, it wouldn't have been as viable of a place to climb. And he pointed out that, in our life, the cracks in our life make it so other people can latch onto those things, those scars, those wounds, those things about us that maybe we have gone through, and then it helps them to climb up. So what I've done is I've looked at myself and I've looked at what I've gone through, the things that, whether it was me as a kid experiencing things that were out of my control, to the things that I have put myself through, right? The self-inflicted wounds. I've looked at all of these things and gone, well, I have to believe that these cracks or these scars are here for a reason. And if the reason is for someone else to be able to set their anchors in the lessons that I have learned and the cracks that I have, then that's worth it. That makes it worth it for me. And it makes it so when you do have those scars and you do have those things that you can forgive yourself for, but you'll never forget, you can look back and say, well, at least I experienced this, and hopefully my experience can help someone else, whether it be my kid or someone else's kid or someone coming up that you work with or for or whatever. I can help them avoid the pain that I went through. They can use my scars as their anchors, right? Or my fissures and all these things, right? So I do these videos and I'm trying to be open with how I feel, because I have to believe that it helps someone somehow. I've been talking now for 8 minutes, and if you're watching this still, I assume it's helping you. I assume it means something to you. This is something that I'm sure at this point, all the casual people who don't want to listen to everything I have to say have moved on, which is fine, because this is the more serious stuff, honestly. I struggle so much with depression, with mental health things. Like, I so often just want to die. To say I've contemplated suicide is an understatement. Like, I've eagerly looked forward to dying, right? Like, I've wanted to kill myself so many times. There are times in my life when it's been like an everyday thing, and I've had to lie to, the doctor or the military psychologist. Like, do you think about hurting yourself? I'm like, no. Just kidding. Yes, constantly. But the reality is, like, I know that I can't do that. And why can't I do that? I can't because I have all of these anchors in my life. I have these people that I know that I affect their life, that count on me, that depend on me. I look at my children and I say, no matter how bad it is for me and how miserable I am, because of what my own crap, right? Because of my inability to cope and work through these things, I can't hurt myself because I know how badly it would hurt them. And it's like, it's this weird, like, beautiful yet frustrating and comical thing all at the same time, where, the dark sense of humor you have, maybe this is the veteran in me that's like, I wish I could go blow my brains out, but I can't, because I don't want my kids to ask what they could have done differently, or blame themselves, or think that they're the reason why, or then they grow up someday and they're more likely to commit suicide. It's like, I've taught these classes. I know the statistics. I know the numbers. I've done my homework, and I know that if a parent commits suicide, what it does to the kids, to the people left behind. And then even if I didn't have my children, like I am, a survivor, if you will, of a friend and family members and things that have committed suicide. I have some of the most important people in my life have killed themselves. And it still sticks with me. And I still think, like, what could I have done differently, And so I know that despite my internal struggles and battles, I cannot do that. I can't kill myself. I don't have permission to. I don't have the right to. And in these moments, it's like, even when I feel like I am a waste and I'm like a burden on everyone I know and love, and maybe my family would be better without me, I can go, you know what? Like, I can say that, and I can maybe indeed believe it in a lot of ways, but I can't argue with the facts, and I can't argue with reality of what it would do to everyone who I left behind. And there are days, so many days, when that's the only thing that keeps me going. It's the only reason I don't end things, because I know what would happen after I'm gone, and I know what people would go through, and I love all of these people. I love my children, my wife, my family, my friends. I love these people more than I hate what I'm going through. I would not want to put them through that, despite how much I may hate myself in any given moment, or how much I hate what I'm going through. I love them more. And if you were at my retirement ceremony, you might have heard me talk about this. One of the biggest things I think that we need in this world, and really it's the most important thing in my life, is the ability to love other people and to want them to be okay. You don't have to be a people pleaser, and you don't have to compromise your morals or standards to show someone you love them, but you have to just at least love them in your, with all your heart, and do what you can to be there for them. And sometimes, for me, all I can do is not do something to hurt myself to show someone else how much I love them. And they'll never know that. If you've watched it this far, if you're still watching now, it's like, you're one of the reasons why I haven't done this, why I haven't made these decisions. And again, it's like the people in the close proximity, your kids and family and stuff, that those are the most important ones. But good heck, I can't tell you how many times I've thought, like, if I were to do this one random person, that I had met or something, this person I have an appointment with on Thursday might wonder what happened to me and wonder if I was okay, and I wouldn't want to worry them. I wouldn't want them to feel bad, So I wouldn't want to put all of that pain that I go through in my internal battles and just blast it around to everyone who knows me and has interacted with me, and just send that much pain to so many people. So that's why I'm doing these videos. I'm doing them because I want to work through my stuff. I want to help myself, and then hopefully in the process help someone else. And who knows, maybe you feel the way I do. Sometimes I feel like I don't think anyone feels this way. But I know that that's not true. I know there's other people who feel the way I do, or the only reason you're sticking around, the only reason you're here is because you feel like you have too much responsibility. And you know what? Thanks. I'm glad you're watching this. I'm glad you feel that way, because I'm glad you're in my life. I'm glad you're in the life of your family, your friends, your kids, your coworkers, whatever. I'm glad you're still here with us. And I'm right here with you. I'm fighting the battle alongside you. So, anyways, thanks for listening. Talked 15 minutes now, so just need to kind of go through that. With what I'm going through right now with my broken foot and stuff, it's just So many things are hitting really hard right now. So anyways, I could go on, but I won't. I love you so much. I care about you. I know so many people love you. So many people need you in their life. And sometimes just by existing, you are doing enough. So thank you. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for being there. I love you. Keep pushing. I'll talk to you soon.